Hi, thanks for checking out the video. We're talking about the Yamaha BB1500A. If you're anything like me, you'll want to skip to where there's some actual playing happening, so I will put some links to do that. Gold hardware throughout. We have the Yamaha logo in like an Abalone kind of inlay. Mother of pearl dots along the front. Rosewood fingerboard. And the body is older, and this finish is, I believe, the less common natural finish. It was also available in like a midnight wine red burst. On the back of the neck we can see it is flat sawn, some nice grain, and even towards the volute here there's a little bit of flame. Coming down to the body here we have the two Alnico stacked hum cancelling single coil pickups, and we have our typical Yamaha active circuit. Volume, blend, bass, treble, and the mid control, which is on a three-way preset selector switch, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Alright, so we're all plugged in here. I'm running the bass directly from the DI of an Aguilar Tonehammer 350 into the interface, directly into Logic. Nothing else in the signal chain, and I've bypassed all of the EQ on the Tonehammer, so we're just getting straight through signal. Here is the sound of the neck pickup. Let's go to the middle position. And the bridge pickup. Those are the flat settings. Now, just going back to the neck pickup, I'll just sweep the active controls from one extreme to the other. So here is treble, all the way down. At mid. And the treble all the way up. Clanky. And the bass band. This is with the bass all the way off. And the bass at mid. And then as you begin to boost the bass, gets very gnarly. Okay, in the mid position, same thing again. A little bit more treble. Midway. More still. And all the way up. Bass completely down. Midpoint. A little bit more. And all the way on. Coming now to the bridge pickup. If we knock the treble back, back to the midpoint, and treble all the way on. Here we go with the bass. Alright, let's talk a little bit about the mids on this bass. So we've got this three-way selector switch, and in its fully anti-clockwise position, the mids are just set flat. And you then have two presets, EQ1 and EQ2. And the interesting thing about these is you can actually go in the bag and select the frequencies and basically dial in how you want those two presets to sound. So let's just listen to EQ1. Here's flat. EQ1 and EQ2. So you can hopefully hear there's a difference there. If I go to the neck pickup and just cycle through them. And on the bridge pickup. So you can adjust the frequencies that the mid-control operates at for each of the two presets. Let's do it. On this cavity cover here, we can see there's a little diagram telling us what to expect inside. So there's going to be two trim pots and two thumb wheels. Let's get this control cavity off. So there are our two trim pots, and there are our two thumb wheels. Right, so this bottom trim pot here affects the overall output of the preamp, and you can use that just to set the level that this bass outputs relative perhaps to your other basses, or so that it doesn't drive the preamp section of your amp too hard or whatever. You can just get that how you want it. This one here is boost and cut, and it affects EQ2. This thumb wheel here affects the center point of the frequency for EQ1, and you can sweep that from low to high. And this thumb wheel here, rather confusingly, goes from high to low for EQ2, and EQ2 also has the ability to be boosted or cut depending on where you set that trim pot. For EQ1, you can boost it. I think EQ1 is boost only, and you can set where in the mids that boost happens. EQ2 is boost or cut, and you can set similarly which frequency gets either boosted or cut. So for example, you could have a boost around the high mids, and for here you could have a further boost around the low mids, or perhaps you could set this one up as a cut and you select which frequency gets cut, and you can have a more scooped sound. So what we should probably do is set the bass up so that we can sweep through those frequencies and you can hear them. Okay, so with any luck, you can see what's going on here. We've got the control cavity and we're plugged in. So if I just play a note, okay, so we said this affects EQ1, so let's go select EQ1. Hopefully you can hear how that affects the mids. And you can obviously set that wherever you find pleasing. On to EQ2. I've got a similar type of deal. Hopefully you can hear there's a lot of options there. So just taking my little screwdriver and boosting the mids on EQ2. So the full travel of that little thumb wheel. Gives you quite a lot of frequency range to mess with. And similarly, if I back that off so that we are cutting the mid frequencies, you can get quite a pleasing scooped sound there as well. Alright, so there it is, the Yamaha BB1500A. I hope that you found this video useful. What do you think about these earlier Yamaha BB models? I really love them. I think they're great. Have you played one? Do you have one of them? What do you reckon about mids? Do you reckon it's better to have a sweepable knob which can just take you all the way through, or is there something to be said for the simplicity of just having two presets which you just set ahead of time, forget about them, and you can just go to that sound? And with this being the first time I've made a video of this sort, I would love it if you could put some feedback in the comments. Do check back. Hopefully I'll make more videos like this. See you next time. Thank you for checking it out. Cheers.